Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Return to Dark Tower, which was a highly anticipated game for me for 2022. This was one that I got to test out at Gen Con last time we went.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was lucky enough to get there before everyone else, and then had to play with weirdos. They actually were one of the few that did a pretty solid demo, because a lot of them were like, yeah, let's just do kind of one turn, and it's like, no, we played for a decent amount. But for the record, so in case you weren't familiar with, this was a game, I think in like the 80s. Like, it was just called The Dark Tower or something like that.
Okay, cool.
And Restoration Games is known for kind of taking older games and modernizing them, so this was one. You want to know who the designers are?
Oh, sure.
So Rob Daviau, same designer who did the Pandemic Legacy series.
Wow.
Isaac Childress.
I definitely feel that.
Yes, kind of with like the explosion of skulls and stuff. This one will kick your noggin. Isaac Childress, Gloomhaven.
Wow.
This was the only reason I backed this.
That's some pedigree right there.
Right? And then the other three I don't know off the top of my head, but Noah Cohen, Justin Jacobson, and Brian Neff. I'm sure they might do something. But they had a lot of people on this. Hundreds of playtesters and thousands of backers.
Wow.
Just for the UI design, the tower alone is just a feat in and of itself.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have to say, like, my engagement was 100% this whole game.
Yeah,
like I was just like energetic, ready for my turn. Didn't feel like I had to wait too long.
Right, and it does that perfect co-op nature where it's like you're doing something badass, I'm doing something badass, and then we can also work together. Like, okay, well I can do this, but if you do this, and then I can play these cards. And I like that kind of co-op. Like, co-ops can sometimes be a little disheartening when one person, like, all the luck is just going to them, and it's like other players are like, why do you even need me? But this one, because the map is so big, and there's just always a constant stream of stuff. Always enemies doing something. Always skulls getting dropped. Like, always, events happening that I never felt like there was a lull. Where you're like, okay, well, hopefully something cool happens this time.
Yeah.
That just didn't happen. This game is phenomenal and definitely well worth the hype of it.
Yeah, I love the followers. And then they add their own little like updates during the quest.
Oh, you're talking
like
about
chick
the companions.
It's generating you like treasures.
Yeah,
and, like, my boy is just recruiting more fellas.
Right,
and that's really cool that they each have their own unique thing and that they're scripted and they have like a little story.
Yep. Then they tell you exactly what they're going to give you, and that's funny. You can get a hippo.
Maxim the Beast.
But yeah, the companions are really freaking neat just because there's no limit. The game is so free with what you're getting and balanced extremely well. Like, even though we lost in the run-through, I wasn't upset about it. Like, it wasn't like, oh god, we just really need to, hopefully we get this result. Well, we didn't, I missed, or something.
That's true. None of that.
Yeah.
It's like you're going into a battle. Sure, you don't know what's going to happen, but you have these many advantages. So it's like if you come in with 6 advantages, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Or you come with none, it's like this is probably going to be a struggle for me.
Right. Yeah. The battle
app. They did awesome with that app.
Oh, I know. The app is so good, and it's so streamlined. It's not this weird broken app, or it's not like cumbersome in any way where you have to navigate a bunch of menus. It's who is the guy? I want to give credit to this. I usually don't do this, but yeah, the Sam Ballard, the user interface design, like, he killed it because you just immediately know, oh, I just need to click on this to do this. I just need to hold this down to complete that quest. The one thing I would, the one blend that they do really well is, because there's some games that utilize apps, and it's basically an app game, and you just have. Oh, I was like, what the hell is that? And you barely interact with the board. But in this one, it's like 75% this, and then this just manages, all the events. There's no card of events. You don't have to read anything. Well, you do have to read. I would have liked voice acting. That would have been like one thing I could have been like, oh, hey! But, I mean, you're not reading paragraphs of stuff.
Right.
But Yeah, just the fact that you still are able to manage your turns, like, oh, how much movement do I have? Like, you don't have to fiddle with an app to be like, okay, I spent one movement and one movement and one movement. It's so good. There's so many adversaries and so many main quests, like, and any combination thereof, just to be like we could do this again and just pick different monsters.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, well, let's see how this
Shit, it
goes.
could be the same monsters.
Yeah.
I'd still have a hell of a time.
Right? Because the tower is, I guess, random. Like, I was getting dicked on this whole game.
You were.
Like,
that was great.
But that's the thing. I wasn't sitting here pissed off about it. I wasn't like, well, I can't fucking do anything. You know? I was like, well, okay. Because at the end of every heroic action, you get spirit. Oh, okay, for me to battle, I need to spend a spirit. All right. Like, I'll go there. I'll still do it. And
it's kind of cool that they made like a story element that you can start to ignore some of those effects.
Right, like doing actual main quests, or if you just completely ignore them and then the month ends or something happens and it's like,
shit on.
Yeah, you forgot to do that. Like, we lost because we got lost because both him and the Titan were in my home region, and I was like,
God, they were like, fuck the South.
God, they hated it. I had to remove so much corruption throughout this entire game. But then again, it came down to like one turn.
Yeah.
I literally had it mathed out. I'm like, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get to the sanctuary. I can cleanse it, and then I can reinforce. And then it's month 4. I'm gonna gain 4 spirits. So then I can remove my corruption. Then I can go fight him because I'll have like all the wild advantages. Yeah, it was just like that. And then it's like, oh yeah, the Titan destroys it. That sucks. But, and I've said this before, I think it was kind of like whenever we played the Loop with its kind of cube tower, and I want my co-ops to be hard, almost to the point of it being unfair, but of course not being unfair, because if a co-op is too easy, then you've beaten it, and then you're like, well, I don't want to play it again because it's already too easy. Now, this game didn't feel too easy, but it also didn't feel too hard. It
gave us enough that we were I was feeling like a badass.
Yeah,
I felt like we were both feeling like really powerful.
Right.
And I mean, we were, but then there's so many things that you have to mitigate. Like I didn't even think about, because those enemies kind of sneak up on you because they don't have constant effects.
Yeah.
And but then it's gonna pop up an event. I'm like, okay, if they exist, bad shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, and
the Titan just nuked a city and ended you.
Yep, and the app keeps track of how many like enemies are out on the field, and they get stronger as you leave them alone. Because then it's like, oh, hey, by the way, now they're lethal, and it's like, crap. Okay, now I have to go try and fight them.
Does it increase the number of cards that you have to play against them if they become lethal?
Their card number stays the same. They're just more powerful.
Okay.
So like going to fight the level 2, the Oryx, you still pick 2 cards, but what a card might have been like 10 warriors, now it could just be 30. And you're like, oh, great. You know something else that I found fascinating about this? With the way that the board works, because it's broken up into 4 sections, I was worried that there were going to be too many spaces and too many things for only 2 people to do. I never felt that.
Yeah, it wasn't different.
I was never like, we can't even get over there to deal with that corruption, so we're just screwed. Nope.
Yeah, it was cool. There's quite a frequency of like movement-related treasures that really helps keep that under control.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the fact that you're limited, of course, to the treasures. And the one thing I would like is... and maybe there's an expansion that adds a certain it adds a few more things, the Alliance expansion, but I would like some more variety with your character, just because it's like these are going to be the 3. That's it. Like,
are they random since the tiles?
No, depending on where you're sitting, you will get your champion of that region, and then you will have these 3 as virtues.
Okay.
So you'll always have the same virtue starting out, and then you'll always have the same 3 virtues to upgrade. And just for sheer variety, or maybe build types, I would like more to be like, oh, well, I guess, he is a relic hunter. It makes sense. He's all about treasure. But it's like, I like having cool different card synergies or abilities that instead of being like, oh, the Relic Hunter, yep, that's what he does. Because I will say that the heroes are kind of one note. They're not like the most exciting heroes in the world. At least I feel.
Yeah. I mean, but I think within the structure of this game, they definitely had like their archetypes, in the development of it. So that way we're each kind of are an aspect of the game.
Right.
Because like, yours is treasures and items and mine was like soldier gathering.
Yeah, pure soldiers and battling. And then, I don't know where the other two are. But yeah, then they have the Spy Master and then the Orphan Scion. I don't know what they do inherently. But I think the Orphan Scion gains like spirit. And that's
right. I felt like there's probably one that gathers spirit better. And
then
another aspect in this game.
And the expansion adds 2 more.
Okay.
2 more heroes.
Oh, cool.
I think they're yellow and purple, but I don't know. I can't remember what their names were. Are there any negatives that you got with the game?
I had just an awesome time with this game. I mean, the app's awesome. I love the music to the app. Like, I like the battle chimes.
The battle
music.
It's
like, oh man, I feel like I'm in a battle. Let's do this. Bring me the cards. What you got?
Right.
We'll throw 10 dudes. 10 dudes, no problem.
Yeah. And I mean, and just within the app alone, like, the best thing about these kinds of games is they can just make, like, patches to the app if they wanted to add anything new. Now, in terms of no new adversaries or main quests, they would have to do... But that's the easiest thing. This is the hardest thing to make. Once you get done that, then it's like, oh, adversary pack. Here's a small whatever expansion that gives new stuff to the app. I mean, Chronicles of Crime, for example, just they just came out with a bunch of different scenarios.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it costs them any money to just keep this supported. I hope they keep supporting it with just the sheer amount of work went into this. I can't imagine they'd be like, oh, we're done with that one.
Yep.
It just made this Bluetooth synced up, app tower. And that was kind of just small fry. We're done. So I'm very curious. In terms of negatives, yeah, I don't really think I have any either. Like, what would have been extremely annoying is if, like, oh, you have a 2-player game? Okay, well, I control the south and the east, and you control the north and the west, and then we have to, like, weirdly deal with that. But, nope. It's just whatever's physically facing you are the glyphs that are affecting you.
Yeah.
And just to look at it, you can be like, oh, okay, that's right there. That's cleanse. Cool. Like, I know that cleansing now costs me 1 spirit. And these minis are badass. That's from the Kickstarter.
Nice.
Yeah,
I had no complaints. Oh, we never did the dice.
No, we didn't.
I forgot all about it.
We never haggled. I kept looking over at it, and I was like, I thought about it.
So, what was it? Just at a bazaar?
No. Whenever you do a reinforce, you just roll, and then you could blank, or you could get hey, I got a potion.
Nice.
Hey, I pissed him off.
You didn't get shit.
Get nothing. Hey, this gives me a. Oh crap! I don't remember what that one was. Oh, a gear. Gives you a gear. Because I thought about it at one point when I really needed soldiers, because I was going to do it on the way to go fight him again. And I was like, should I try to haggle? Like, no, I might have the advantages to at least... Because you always, when you fight the adversary, you always have to at least do 1 card. So it's like... and I love that. I love the fact that when he comes out, well, 1, you have to build up to this main quest. You finish the quest, then he steps out of the tower, and he's like, fine. Titan, destroy that citadel, and you're like, no. But I love the fact that you can just whittle him down as long as you have the time, which is ambiguous, really, like in terms of your turns. Then it's like, okay, yeah, I can deal with 1 card. I have enough wild advantages to be able to do that. But so you like the battling?
Yes, I love the battling.
Yeah. It's just the fact that you could still almost like either completely sweep and gain something from it, or at least be like, well, it's not so bad.
Yeah, I do love how they added like the flip mechanic there, where it's like, okay, you can smush a weak enemy that you have all the advantages against, and actually like get more powerful from just wiping them.
Right. Right, but then that's like, oh, I went on my way to only battle one weak enemy, and I didn't go cleanse, or I didn't go complete this quest or something. And I love that. I love the double-edged sword nature of this. The battling is so good, because it's like if you go in unprepared, then you're most likely going to get smacked around. But, like, at the very least, like, let's say you go in and fight a level 2, and you're able to beat one, but then the second one, you're like, oh, I wasn't even anticipating that it could do that. Okay, well, I'll just gain the 1 corruption. Like, it's lose 100 warriors. Well, I have none. 1 corruption.
Right.
You know, it doesn't, like, stack on top of that. But he was super cool. I know one of the other adversaries, like, messes with the lakes, so now they're rivers of fire, and you have to lose warriors to pass across. And there's, how many did I say there were? 8? There are... Oh, it's also great about the app is it saves. So like
cool.
if we for some reason couldn't finish it. So... Oh, it's gonna... Damn it. I can't check. I think it was like 9 main quests and 8 adversaries. Actually, I can...
Oh, okay. Well, it actually kind of tells you what they do. Oh, okay. Yeah, he
Yeah.
destroys buildings.
I forgot to look at that. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Melee foes make you lose gear.
So he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, there are 8. And what does he do? The Gaze Eternal makes you lose potions. The Gaze Eternal hurts heroes in its current kingdom based on the tower glyphs. Yay! Yes, he does. So, this is one of those things that... Do you remember Spirit Island so long ago?
Yeah.
It's funny because this board kind of reminds me of that. This board is ugly as sin, but it doesn't bother me because it's so practical. Like when you're dealing with placing, miniatures somewhere or tokens somewhere, it's just so nice to be like, oh, I immediately can find this. So it's very practical. It's not the prettiest. Where they do have art, which is not a lot, it's really good. Like the treasures, the creatures, the adversaries, the companion. It's all very like mature. I guess it would be fantasy, wouldn't it? Yeah, because there's no guns. Yeah, it would be fantasy, but very mature fantasy. But it's not dark fantasy. So I like that a lot as well. But I also do have the art prints, like that I got from the Kickstarter. So those are nice. I don't know. You got anything else?
Man,
anything else that you just...
I really enjoy this. I want to get one for myself.
Right. Let's see. Let's talk about cost as well. Because you would think... Return to Dark Tower. Return to Dark Tower. My pledge was $225. Yep, and that came with the Dark Horde Miniatures Pack, the token upgrade, which is why they're plastic. Alliances, that's the advanced game expansion, which came with more treasures.
Okay.
And deals with ranks. I think you rank up your buildings.
Oh, okay.
And something else, but I didn't really look at it. But yep, I love this game, and I'm so glad that it fucking stood up, that it wasn't just one of those Gen Con demos. I'm like, this game is amazing, and then I get it, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh, the demo was the only thing good about it. No, that was not the case here, and I'm glad it's challenging. And if it became too easy, do the gritty difficulty, and then then it'll probably really just fuck you up.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't really think of anything else without really just nitpicking about certain, not even nitpicking, but like just the fact. One of my favorite things about co-op games, I will bring this up because it's super good. I love when your turns are liquid. Like, oh, I can do any of these actions in any order that I want. There was another game that came out recently called Dead Reckoning. That was another anticipated one where you just can do all your actions in any order you want, besides for one exception. And it just allows you to be creative and respond adequately versus nope, you have to move first.
Yeah.
Or you only get 6 stamina to do nothing. So, stuff like that. Nope, it's oh, I think I'll reinforce to be able to get my ability to go do this, and then yeah, it's awesome. So you didn't have anything else to bring up?
Yeah, good game. Get it if you can.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to retail at all, but I mean,
Kickstarter business, they don't even retail it.
Yeah, very, very rarely do I see Kickstarters go to retail. In fact, a lot of companies now are saying this is not going to retail ahead of time. Like before,
so it's like get it,
buy it here, or if it is going to, like, there was one I looked at that they said this is only going to retail for the companies that back this game. So at least they're letting people know, so they're not waiting and then bitching later on. Why isn't it going to retail? Well, because we only made so many copies.
Yeah.
But if I have one hesitancy, I guess is I just really want them to support this. Like, I would love more expansions, just more content for this, because I love the game. So we shall see. Restoration Games usually does at least like 1 or 2 expansions, and I can't imagine that. Yeah, that would just be weird. Out of all the games, this would be the weirdest one to not have an expansion.
Yeah,
I think. But with that being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, Devin, what would you give Return to Dark
I just enjoyed
Tower?
Everything about it. It was very episodic. I might even give this sucker a 10.
Really?
Good time. Yeah, I feel like, I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah.
I am really towing. I might give it a 10. I think it will.
Yeah, I think it will.
I enjoyed it. I think it will.
You know, I am also going to give it a 10. I think for gameplay, it's a 9, but this is such... If you're going to do a gimmick, you need to go balls deep in that gimmick, and to where it's no longer even really considered that. Like, this is an aspect of the game that works beautifully, and just the sheer... I mean, this is, like, with the electronic aspect, it just works so well. And it wasn't distracting. It wasn't like a... we played a game on my channel called Destinies, and it was 90% app. Like, I kid you not, I could do everything on the app. And I was doing a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh, I forgot to move on the board. Because the app was amazing, but it was a board game.
Oh, gotcha.
And so it distracted, and there was a bunch of other problems with that game. But in this, nope, it's just drop a cube, event, read it, put people, then you're done. But this is just so fascinating that this alone gives it that extra point. So yeah, I'm also at a 10. I'm very excited. It's like, very rarely do I want to be like, you just want to play it again?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be down. I want to get food, but I'd be down.
I would play this again easily.
So that's our thoughts on Return to Dark Tower. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.